Hi everyone, in today's video, we are gonna learn the Python SQL toolkit and Object Relational Mapper in Python with MySQL database. The SQLAlchemy is a powerful SQL toolkit and ORM for Python that bridges the gap between Python code and relational databases like Postgres, MySQL, SQLite or SQL Server. It is open source and cross-platform library released under MIT license. A good understanding of Python programming language, and you should also know the fundamental of SQL databases operations like insert, update and delete. So let's get started with this tutorial. I have JetBrains PyCharm editor open and we wanna create a new project. I'm saying SQLAlchemy demo MySQL. There is by default virtual environment selected for this project. We have selected 3.13 version of Python interpreter from this list. Okay, click on create. It is creating a new Python project. It is also creating a virtual environment for this project. The next step, we have to just install this SQLAlchemy package on this virtual environment. Click on terminal and type one command to install, that is pip install SQLAlchemy. So it is downloading the package from the internet. Just create a new Python program in this project, SQLAlchemy MySQL. Okay, in order to verify whether this package is working fine in your project, just import SQLAlchemy, take alias as db and print its version. All right, save the file, run the program. That's perfect. Version is shown. Now I'm gonna show you how to connect MySQL database with help of SQLAlchemy package. If you do not have any idea of how to set up databases, you can watch database related tutorials on my channel. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just create an engine object. Let me remove this. I'm saying engine db.createEngine function actually provides an object which connects with our database, right? So I have a database URL of MySQL. I also need to use from URL lib import quote plus your lib.parse we have to use. So this is the function that actually handles @ sign in the password. That's why we are using this function. Okay. So this is the package that you have to install. This is the username on MySQL Workbench. This is the password of it. This is the server name. This is the port and this is the database name, right? So we are going to connect this employee database. So this create engine will return us a engine object, right? That will connect with our MySQL database. Before moving further, we have to install one package that is PyMySQL. I'm opening terminal, pip install PyMySQL. So this package is installed. Use metadata function from this SQLAlchemy library, right? db is the alias and we have metadata method. Now we will create a new table into this MySQL database. But before that, we have to create a object for customers. I am using customers. Then we will use a table function. We have to provide name of the table, that is customers, metadata. We will take 3 columns for this table, right? Another column for name and then another for email. Length should be 50 for this. And the label, this is email. Okay, the next step we have to use a metadata dot create all and pass engine object, this object. So what this method does, actually it maps the object with the database objects, right? If the objects are already created, then it will not going to create any of the object, right? If the object which you have defined here is not exist on the database, that it will create, right? I've run the program. We have some issues. We need to create a connection object as well, maybe engine.connect. This function is required to connect with your database, right? Run the program again. Cryptography package is required, shy password. Let's install cryptography. This is also got installed here. Run the program again. We have made a mistake over here as well. That should be a length of 50, right? Now let's check our database. We are refreshing this database. You see that customer table is created in the database. We have all three columns which we have defined here: ID, name, and email. Now let me show you how to insert a row into MySQL database table through Python program. To add a single row, we will first use insert and add the table object. I'm going to create a query insert and db.insert function we will use and pass this customer's object and then values method. Let's define our fields with values, right? ID1, name John, email is john@test.com, right? This is our insert query and we will pass this query into execute method, right? I'm going to get a result object connection object dot execute, and this query insert object needs to be passed here. All right, connection should be committed with help of this commit method. Perfect. Let's run the program. Program ran successfully. Now select customers table. Deploy dot customers. Yeah, we got the table name. Now run it. So we have one record over here, which we have just created through the Python program. All right. There is another way to insert a row into the database. I have just copied and use object customers dot insert. Okay, and then the values. This is the same thing, right? I'm now inserting ID as 2 and then John. We have Mike at test. Run the program, run the query again. You have another row here with how to select this inserted data from this MySQL database table. Customers dot select method and then fetch all, right? So we will get the result, then we will iterate row result, we will print the row. All right, run the program. You see we have both rows on the console. Or you can use db.select method. db.select and customers object needs to be passed here. Okay, this is the same thing. All right, if you want to get a top record from the table, we will just say that execute in the execute customer dot select, okay, and just say fetch one, and here just print result. Okay, run the program. You will get top record from this table. If we want to print value from any field, just address like this. This is the syntax. Yeah. So this is how we can address fields name from the table, right? One and John. ID is one and name is John. If you want to filter out some data, how you can filter out? So remove this. I'll be just using fetch all because we want all records. And after select method, use where clause. Customers dot column alias dot name equals to Mike. Okay, that's all. All right, let's run it. Or you say that ID should be greater than 0 and you will get all records, right? You see? Now let me show you the update statement, how we can update table. So I'm saying query update db.update method to use customers dot c dot id equals to 1 and then values just update email, that is customers. I'm saying update john11 at the rate test.com where the id is 1. Connection dot execute and query connection to be connected. Right, and then we are just fetching all the records, right? And the program, you see that the record is updated because we are fetching all the records after updating data. All right, let's verify here. The other way to update, you can use update function like this. This is the same thing, right? Now your email would be john2 at the rate test. Okay, let me show you how to delete a record from this table. Query delete, the same thing, customers dot delete dot where id equals to 1. All right, instead of update just say delete. All right, let's end the program. You see that we have only one record. Run the query again. Okay, this is how we can delete the data from table through the Python program. Okay, one more thing I want to show you, there is a one attribute on create engine method echo. If you set this as true, then all DML statements will be logged into the console, right? As soon as you say true, you are deleting the data again. Run the program. You see that all the queries which fired against the database are here. Okay, this is very useful property you can use in order to debug your SQL statements in the program. Okay, by default it is false. It will not show any logging information on the console. As I said in the last video as well, that you can connect with any of the database engine. You have to just change the engine URL. Here we are connecting MySQL database. If you want to connect with other database, then you have to just change the engine, right? Let me show you the link on the official documentation of SQLAlchemy. So here you can see database URLs, right? We have dialect plus driver, username, password, hostname, port, and the database, right? This is the format of database URLs, right? Okay, so what we have used? We have used MySQL like this. This was the format, right? For Postgres, you can use database URLs like this. For Oracle, you can use like this. For Microsoft SQL Server, you can use just after changing the engine, it will connect with a different database. And there will not be any impact on your code which you have just created here, right? There will be no impact. This is the advantage of this SQLAlchemy package that developers are getting. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned how to get leverage of SQLAlchemy library in Python. You saw that how to perform CRUD operation against MySQL database with the help of this SQLAlchemy library. So hit a like button and give me a comment down below of video. Don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.